I was not born a warrior. I built myself into one. Many people think strength comes from the body. They are wrong. True power, the kind that never fades, the kind that cannot be broken, comes from the mind. I trained my fists to be like iron, my kicks to be like lightning. But without the mind, they are nothing. There is a secret, a forbidden training of the mind, one that unlocks speed, focus, and energy beyond limits. If you are ready, if you dare to go beyond what you think is possible, then listen carefully. The greatest battle is not fought with fists or weapons. It happens inside your mind. Doubt whispers, "You are not strong enough." Fear tells you, "You will fail." Overthinking holds you back, making you hesitate when you should act. These are the real enemies, the ones that can defeat you before you even step forward. One day, my master handed me a cup of tea. He poured and poured until the tea spilled over, wasting what was inside. I was confused. "The cup is full," I said. He smiled. "Yes, like your mind. How can I teach you when it is already full?" That was the moment I understood something most people never learn. A mind that is crowded with distractions, fears, and limitations cannot grow. It cannot be fast. It cannot be powerful. It cannot win. Before you can master anything, you must first clear the space for learning, for growth, for strength. Most people fill their minds with unnecessary noise, worrying about things they cannot control, thinking about the past, fearing the future. This clutter slows them down. It makes their movements uncertain, their decisions weak, their energy scattered. But when the mind is clear, the body follows. You react without hesitation. You move with purpose. You strike with precision. The first step is to remove the excess, the weight that holds you back. Find stillness, even for a moment. Sit in silence. Breathe. Let go of every thought that does not serve you. At first, your mind will resist. Thoughts will flood in, trying to pull you back into distraction. Do not fight them, simply let them pass. Like clouds in the sky, let them drift away. Feel the weight lifting. Feel your mind becoming empty, open, and limitless. Only when the cup is empty can it be filled again. Only when the mind is clear can it become sharp. This is where true power begins. I never fought an opponent for the first time. Before I stepped into battle, before I threw the first strike, before I even moved, I had already won. Not with my fists, not with my feet, but with my mind. Most people think fighting is all about muscle, speed, or technique. They train their bodies endlessly, pushing themselves to exhaustion, hoping to get stronger. But they forget one thing. The mind is the true weapon. Long before my body ever moved, my mind had already rehearsed every kick, every block, every counterattack. I had already seen my victory, felt the weight of success, experienced the moment before it even arrived. This is the power of visualization. The greatest fighters, the greatest athletes, the greatest warriors, they all understand this secret. What you see in your mind becomes real in your body. If your mind is filled with failure, hesitation, or doubt, your body will reflect that. You will be slow, unsure, and weak. But if you train your mind to expect victory, to see yourself moving with precision, landing every strike, and overcoming every obstacle, your body will follow. Many people fail before they even start, not because they lack skill, but because they have already lost in their own minds. They imagine missing the shot. They see themselves failing the test. They picture rejection before they even try. And then, when the moment comes, they perform exactly as their mind has trained them to. But what if you reversed it? What if instead of imagining failure, you imagined success? What if instead of seeing obstacles, you saw solutions? What if, instead of feeling fear, you felt certainty? This is how I trained my mind. Before every fight, every competition, every challenge, I closed my eyes and played the entire event in my head like a movie. I saw myself moving fast. I saw my strikes landing perfectly. I felt the confidence of knowing I could not be stopped. I played this scene over and over until there was no doubt left, only certainty. And when the moment came, I performed exactly as I had seen, not because I was lucky, not because I was special, but because my mind had already been there. Your brain does not know the difference between imagination and reality. When you see yourself succeeding over and over, your body begins to believe it's real. Your confidence grows, your actions sharpen, your movements become automatic. You are no longer hoping to win, you expect to win. This is not just for fighting, this is for life. If you want to become stronger, see yourself training harder than ever before. If you want to speak with confidence, see yourself standing tall, speaking clearly, owning the room. If you want to succeed in anything, see yourself already there, already winning, already achieving. The mind creates the future before it happens. So ask yourself, what are you seeing? Are you filling your mind with failure? Or are you training yourself for greatness before you even begin? Because what you see in your mind today is what you will live tomorrow. Most people do not know how to breathe. They rush through life, taking quick, shallow breaths, unaware that they are starving their own power. Their minds are scattered, their energy weak, their bodies slow, and they do not even realize why. Breath is life. It is the bridge between the mind and the body, the connection between thought and action, the difference between hesitation and unstoppable force. In battle, if my breath was steady, my mind was calm. If my mind was calm, I could not be broken. A warrior who controls his breath controls his emotions. He controls his movement. He controls the flow of battle. But a man who breathes without awareness is like a ship with no captain, tossed around by the waves, powerless against the storm. I trained my breath to be my weapon. I studied the masters, the ancient warriors, the greatest martial artists, and I discovered a secret that few understand. Breathing is not just about survival, it is about control. When you are afraid, your breath becomes short and shallow. Your heart races. Your body tenses. You become weak. When you are angry, your breath becomes fast and uneven. Your energy burns out quickly. Your mind becomes clouded. You make mistakes. When you are nervous, your breath is unstable. Your hands shake. Your voice wavers. Your strength disappears. But when you master your breath, you master yourself. Before every fight, every challenge, every moment where I needed absolute focus, I returned to my breath, deep, controlled, powerful. I inhaled slowly, letting the air fill my lungs, filling every muscle with energy. I held it, feeling my body grow stronger, my mind sharpening like a blade. I exhaled, releasing all tension, all hesitation, all weakness. And when I moved with precision, with calm, with control. This is how a warrior breathes. When I threw a punch, I breathed out sharply, conserving energy, delivering maximum force. When I absorbed a strike, I exhaled, allowing my body to flow with the impact instead of resisting it. Even in the middle of battle, my breath remained steady. My heart did not race. My hands did not shake. I did not waste energy on panic, on fear, on doubt. I moved like water. I struck like lightning because I was in control. And it all started with a single breath. This is not just for fighting. This is for life. When you feel overwhelmed, breathe deeply. When you are afraid, slow your breath. When you are angry, take control of your breath before your emotions take control of you. Inhale strength, exhale weakness. This is how warriors are made. Your breath is your foundation. If you do not control it, you control nothing. But if you master it, you will move through life like a dragon, calm, powerful, and unstoppable. Fear is something we all feel. It doesn't matter how strong you are, how fast you are, or how much you have trained. Fear will always find a way to whisper in your ear, "You can't do this. You're not ready. What if you fail?" Most people hear these voices and freeze. They hesitate. They back away. They let fear control them. But I learned a secret. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is energy. The moment you try to run from it, you become weak. But the moment you learn to use it, you become unstoppable. I remember standing in front of opponents twice my size. I remember the feeling in my stomach before a big moment, before stepping onto a stage, before facing the unknown. My heart would race, my hands would sweat, my breath would become shallow. This is where most people make a mistake. They think fear is a warning sign, a signal to turn back. But I discovered the truth. Fear is a sign that you are about to grow. If something does not scare you, it means it is too small for you. It means you are staying in your comfort zone, playing it safe, living in the same cycle of weakness and hesitation. But if something makes your heart pound, if it makes your breath quicken, if it makes you doubt yourself, then that is where you must go. Because that is where transformation happens. I stopped running from fear. I learned to listen to it, to feel it, to take its energy and redirect it. In a fight, when fear tried to slow my movements, I focused it into speed. When it tried to shake my confidence, I turned it into intensity. When it tried to make me weak, I transformed it into power. Most people let fear shut them down. I let fear sharpen me. It is like fire. If you do not control it, it will burn you alive. But if you learn to use it, it will keep you warm. It will give you strength. It will fuel you. So how do you take fear and make it your weapon? First, you must stop seeing it as something bad. Fear is natural. It is your body telling you that you are about to face something important. It is energy. Instead of trying to push it away, welcome it. Feel it. Let it build inside you. Then take a breath. Do not let fear make your breath weak. Breathe deeply, strongly. Let the oxygen fill your body. Let your mind become calm. Now, move forward. Not away from fear, but toward it. Step into it, feel its power, let it fuel your focus, let it sharpen your senses, let it push you beyond your limits. Fear is not a sign to stop, it is a sign to go harder, because on the other side of fear is strength. On the other side of fear is confidence. On the other side of fear is the person you were meant to become. Most people will never understand this. They will let fear control their lives, make their decisions, hold them back. But you can be different. The next time fear rises inside you, do not run, do not hide. Take its fire and turn it into fuel, because fear is not there to stop you. It is there to show you what you are truly capable of. Power does not come from size. It does not come from how big your muscles are, how tall you stand, or how much force you can throw behind a punch. True power comes from focus. Most people think my 1-inch punch was just about speed or technique. But the real secret behind it was the mind. It was not about the distance of the punch. It was about the intensity, the precision, the complete and total focus of all my energy into a single moment. Most people scatter their energy. Their thoughts are everywhere. They try to do too many things at once. They start a task, but their mind is already thinking about the next thing. They speak, but they doubt their own words. They strike, but they hold back, unsure of themselves. This is why they fail. This is why they are weak. Because when energy is scattered, it has no power. But when you focus everything you have into a single moment, into a single action, into a single goal, your power becomes explosive. This is the 1-inch punch of the mind. When I trained, I did not just train my body. I trained my mind to remove all distractions, to shut out all doubts, to take everything I had, my speed, my strength, my mind, my spirit, and pour it into one strike. And that is why it worked. It was not about the length of the punch. It was about the depth of the focus. This is the secret most people never learn. They live their lives half-focused, half-committed. Their mind is split between worries, distractions, and unnecessary thoughts. They start something, but they do not give it their full energy, and then they wonder why they do not succeed. But when you train your mind to focus completely on one goal, one moment, one movement, you will have the power to break through anything. Imagine holding a magnifying glass under the sun. If you move it around, the light is scattered and nothing happens. But if you hold it steady, if you concentrate the energy into a single point, it becomes powerful enough to burn through anything. Your mind is the same. Most people move their energy around, wasting it, scattering it. But if you learn to hold your focus, to direct everything into a single action, you become unstoppable. Before any challenge, any test, any battle, clear your mind. Remove all distractions. Take a deep breath and lock onto one single objective. Do not let your thoughts drift. Do not let your mind waver. Pour every ounce of your focus, your strength, your willpower into that one thing. And when you strike, when you move, when you take action, it will not be weak, hesitant, or divided. It will be powerful. It will be unstoppable. This is the 1-inch punch of the mind. A single action with total focus can change everything. Most people throw 100 weak punches in life, hoping one will land. But a master throws one punch with everything he has. And that is all it takes. Most people resist life. They plan, they prepare, they create expectations of how things should be. But the moment life moves in a different direction, they panic, they freeze, they break. They do not understand the greatest truth of all. Nothing stays the same. Everything changes. And the ones who survive, the ones who grow, the ones who become unstoppable, they are not the strongest. They are not the fastest. They are the ones who can adapt. I learned this lesson early. I watched how water moved. It never resisted. It never complained. It never tried to force itself into a shape that did not fit. Water flows. If you pour it into a cup, it becomes the cup. If you pour it into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. If there is a rock in its way, it does not stop. It moves around it, over it, through it. This is what it means to be adaptable. Too many people fight against life. They set a goal, and when the path is not exactly how they imagined, they give up. They get frustrated. They let obstacles defeat them. But a warrior does not resist change. A warrior moves with it. In battle, I never had a fixed plan. If I locked myself into one strategy, I would become predictable. If I only used one technique, my opponent would find a way to counter it. If I only expected one type of attack, I would be caught off guard. Instead, I became like water. I flowed with the fight. I adapted to my opponent's movements. If they were strong, I became faster. If they were aggressive, I became defensive. If they hesitated, I attacked. This is why I could not be stopped, because I did not resist change, I embraced it. And this is not just for fighting, this is for life. Life will never go exactly as planned. You will face setbacks. You will meet obstacles. You will encounter unexpected challenges. If you fight against them, you will only waste your energy. But if you learn to flow, to adapt, to adjust, to move with life instead of against it, you will never be broken. Most people get stuck because they hold on to the past. They hold on to failures, mistakes, disappointments. They replay them in their minds over and over, refusing to let go. But water does not hold on to anything. It keeps moving. This is how you must live. If you fall, do not waste time complaining. Get up, adjust, and move forward. If a door closes, do not bang on it forever. Find another way. If life shifts in a direction you did not expect, do not resist. Learn to flow. The strongest people are not those who never fall. They are the ones who know how to keep moving. A rigid tree snaps in the storm, but a bamboo bends and survives. A rock stands still and erodes over time, but a river carves mountains by flowing. This is why water is powerful. It seems soft, it seems weak, but nothing can stop it. No matter what obstacle is in its way, it finds a way forward. And so must you. Be strong but flexible. Be focused but adaptable. Be determined but willing to adjust. Because life is always changing. And the ones who flow with it are the ones who become unstoppable. There was a time when no one believed in me. They told me I was too small. They told me I didn't belong. They told me I would never make it. The world doubted me. They laughed at my dreams. They tried to put me in a box, limit me, define me by their own fears. But I did not listen. Because I had already made the most important decision of my life. I believed in myself. Most people are trapped not by their circumstances, not by their environment, not by the opinions of others, but by their own mind. They have trained themselves to believe that they are weak, that they are not good enough, that they will never achieve anything great. And so they don't. Not because they lack strength, not because they lack talent, but because they never allow themselves to believe that they are capable. Your mind is the most powerful force you will ever control. If you fill it with doubt, you will always be afraid. If you fill it with excuses, you will always find reasons to quit. If you fill it with limitations, you will always be small. But if you fill it with belief, if you truly know that you can succeed, that you can grow, that you can become unstoppable, then nothing can break you. This is the final weapon, the most powerful of all. A man who believes in himself cannot be controlled. A warrior who trusts himself cannot be stopped. A mind that is unshaken will always find a way forward. I trained my body every day, but more importantly, I trained my mind. When I failed, I did not say, I cannot do this. I said, I will find a way. When others doubted me, I did not ask, am I good enough? I said, I will prove it to myself. When I faced a challenge, I did not say, this is too hard. I said, this is my opportunity to grow. The words you speak to yourself create your reality. If you tell yourself you are weak, you will be weak. If you tell yourself you are not ready, you will hesitate. If you tell yourself you are not capable, you will never take action. But if you tell yourself, I am strong, you will find strength. If you tell yourself, I am prepared, you will face challenges with confidence. If you tell yourself, I can do this, you will push past limits that once seemed impossible. Most people will never understand this. They will continue to doubt themselves, to listen to the voices that say they are not enough, to let fear control their lives. But you can be different. You can choose to believe in yourself, even when no one else does. You can choose to trust yourself, even when the world tells you to stop. You can choose to step forward, even when the path is unclear, because belief is not given to you by others. It is something you build within yourself. And once you have it, truly have it, nothing in this world can break you. The strongest man is not the one with the biggest muscles, the most skill, or the greatest talent. The strongest man is the one who believes in himself without hesitation. The world will always try to shake you. People will doubt you. Life will challenge you. Fear will try to stop you. But if your belief is unbreakable, you will always stand tall. You will always find a way. You will always keep moving forward. Because the only way to truly lose is to stop believing in yourself. And that is something you must never allow. I was not born strong. I was not born fast. I was not born wise. I trained my mind, my body, my spirit, until they became weapons. And you? You have the same power inside of you. Now it is time for you to choose. Will you stay as you are? Or will you step forward and become something greater? Be water, my friend. Drop a comment below. Which of these 7 mind training techniques will you start using today? If you are ready for more, like this video, subscribe, and take the first step toward mastery.